The minute a trader accepts that he's struggling, the minute a trader accepts that he's not finding profitability, that's the first step that anyone in the financial market can ever take. It is important to understand that if you are a struggling trader, you definitely need help. And where you're going to get help, well, it's another issue on its own. But the first step starts with you admitting that you are having an issue. You are not finding the edge. You are not finding profitability. That's the first step that any trader needs to take. Guys, my name is Givens Kgasi, your pro trader, your coach, and your mentor. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please click that subscription button and hit that notification bell so that you can get notified when we drop another episode. The minute any trader accepts that they have a problem, like I said, that's the first step to victory. We need to talk about these things. What makes us get affected on a daily basis? A lot of traders are depressed and they are not even aware that they are depressed. And we need to understand and analyze how the brain works, because it is within the brain that everything is run. We have a CPU the same way a PC has a CPU, a processing unit. Even our brains have that. And we need to understand how the brain works and how we connect with ourselves. At times, traders are finding themselves in a space where they are in a position where they are trying to figure out themselves or they're trying to figure out the market. That's why it's important to always talk to somebody that is in the same field, either somebody that is in the same field or somebody that is totally out of the field that you are involved in, which is, of course, the financial market. Remember, as a trader, you are an entrepreneur, you are a business person, you are showing up. And the first step to any business to victory is to show up. You need to show up. You need to come in and show up. Showing up is a sign of strength. Understand this. Every trader that finds themselves struggling within the financial market and they don't want to admit it, it's just purely arrogance that will not get them anywhere. You need to find the problem and deal with it at hand. That's when now you're going to figure out where you're getting it wrong. At times, we have skeletons, we have demons, inner demons that every individual would have. Some have anger issues, some have FOMO issues, the fear of missing out. And the fear of missing out can come in two ways. You fear to miss out because you see somebody progressing in the same field, or you fear to miss out maybe because you're seeing a chart, you're seeing a trade on the chart, a setup, and you don't want it to pass, because every time a trade will pass you, there's a bad feeling you often have about yourself, and that's FOMO. So these are a lot of things that we are dealing with. But the first thing to start with is acceptance. Accept that you are struggling. Accept that you have weaknesses. The strength of a trader is not in him making money. The strength of a trader is the ability to react under pressure. Now, how you react under pressure tells us how the business can survive when it's under attack. Remember, your business will always be under attack. In this case, we don't have competitors, where if it's purely trading on the chart, you're just purely trading. You're not selling services and you're not doing all those kind of things. Remember that your competition will be the market and your competition can be yourself. So what you need to understand is that competition is good, because competition at times it uplifts you when you're running a business. But when we're talking about trading, it's a total different story, because the competitor is you. You are competing with bad behavior of yesterday and you are trying to improve on that. But admitting that you have a problem is going to help you, because not alone will you be dealing with the chart, but you'll be dealing with yourself. How do you connect with yourself? Do you know yourself better? Trading is one of the things that have made me know myself better. There are many things that I didn't know about myself until I started trading. Then I figured out that there's a person within me that I didn't know anything about, because it reveals who you are. It reveals your character. It reveals if you don't have patience. It reveals if you are dealing with FOMO, depression, stress, all those kind of things that affect us as traders. Remember, as a retail trader, there are a lot of things that you're dealing with, the lack of funding as well. And some of you are good traders. Don't get me wrong. You are good traders, but you find that the funding that you have, the equity that is running within your business is not enough to sustain you. Hence, you find yourself as a failure. You make small deposits, and every time you make those small deposits, you are trying to flip those small deposit, and that's why you find yourself blowing accounts. You're blowing accounts because you want to make 100% return in a day. You want to make 100% return in a week, and you blow those accounts, and that's when you come back and you sit with yourself and say, I'm a failure. So people that usually come to me and they say, I'm not profitable, I usually ask them, how do you know you are not profitable? Is it because you are not making money, or is it because you don't find percentage increase within your returns, like your target that you put on monthly basis, you don't reach your target? Because even if your target is 50% on return, or 25%, 30%, 100%, well, it's known by you. 1% increase, 1% increase from the initial deposit, 1%, just 1%, that is growth. We don't measure growth by the amount of money that we make, but we measure growth by the percentage in which we grow by. You discourage yourself because the target that you wanted to have, which is money to pay rentals, money to buy groceries, money to do this, money to do that, once you are not reaching that, you can see yourself as a failure. But only to find out that the equity in which you are having is not enough to sustain the returns that you want to have or you wish to have. So these are the things that we need to talk about as traders, that we lack funding. We normally say discipline. Yes, a trader needs discipline, but at times it's very difficult to perform because of the funding that you are having. The account size in which you are trading is not enough. And right now there's a lot of negativity within the prop firm space. A lot of prop firms are shutting down, a lot of prop firms are closing down, and it discourages a lot of people to go into the prop firm space because of that. And that is understandable. As traders, we need to talk. As you are watching this, please just say on the comment section, what is it that you're struggling from? And let us see how we can help you. Remember, I also have a free Telegram group that you can always take advantage of, where we have weekly webinars. We talk about these things. We share experiences. What are you experiencing? Is it a chart problem or is it a you problem? If it's a chart problem, that means that is those mistakes that you make within the chart. Whenever you are on the chart, you make those mistakes. Remember, there's also an episode where I spoke about the behavioral patterns on the chart and the behavioral patterns outside the chart. So you need to figure out, where do you make mistakes? Do you make mistakes when you're on the charts, or you make mistakes when you're not even watching the charts at all? And sometimes we suffer from social pressure. Yes, people are having nice things that you would want to have. Maybe you want to buy your parents a house, you want to build them a house. Maybe you want to buy your first car with your trading profits. Maybe you want the profits to take you to school. We all have desires, we all have plans, we all have things that we want to achieve. And social pressure. We get on Instagram, we get pressure. Why is this person doing this? Remember, I always tell you that if you don't understand the input of what made the final product, then you've got nothing to be concerned about. So meaning to say, normally on social media we see the outcome, but the input nobody's talking about. Nobody's going to tell you what it will really take and how many hours it will really take for you to achieve that. And social pressure is so dangerous that at times we are watching social media gurus, social media marketing strategists that are coming to promote certain brands. And we are thinking that these are returns. And when you sit down with these people, you realize that the money is not made from returns. There is a certain way in which they make money.